Hi parents, Miss Wilson back again. I was just giving you tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to make a schedule. All children, all jobs, all environments that have any kind of order have a schedule. So it's important to sit down with your kid and all of them at their different ages and determine what that schedule is going to be. For younger kids, smaller amounts of time doing the same thing are better. We're saying no less than 30 minutes, no more than probably about 45 minutes. Older kids, like our third, our fourth graders, even our fifth graders, they can go a little bit longer, maybe 45 to an hour and a half would be kind of a stretch. Our fifth graders, some of them will be able to even work for 2 hours straight, but that's really a lot of time of just sitting down doing the same thing. So definitely consider breaking that time up, maybe stretching it out to no more than about 45 minutes of one thing, and then they have a break, and then 45 minutes again of the same thing will definitely help them. But definitely break up that amount of time. Some things that you need to always have in your schedule. What time does the building open? Meaning, what time does your kitchen open? What time does everybody get up? What time does the house awake? What time is lunch? What time are outside times where it's alone time? What time are those things happening? Every group that's working in a house, they do need, or any space, they do need alone time. And when I say alone time, I don't mean you go to your room, you stay in your room, don't talk to me, don't bother me. It's more you're in this space, whether it be outside, in the living room, I'm in the kitchen, wherever it may be, and I need you to stay in that space and work for that whole amount of space. And unless something is on fire, please just use your different skills so that you can work it out. That is for our parents who are working. Some of you, I understand, you are at home, you are working with your kids, you're also working your own job that may have absolutely nothing to do with education. And the expectation is that you've got to work. So having that schedule and being able to tell your kid, okay, you have got to follow this schedule, because not only do you have to work, I have to work too. I have things that I have to answer to my bosses. You may be the kind of person that you have to answer calls all day. Whatever it may be, your kid needs to understand too that he or she is not alone in your space. You all have to be able to coexist and work. And that is something that schools teach every single day, having 22 to 30 kids in a room all at one time. Everyone has to be able to coexist. So that being said, everyone has a schedule. Sit down with that schedule and include what time you're doing actual schoolwork, what time you're doing some outside play time, what time you're doing specials like PE, art, music, all of those things. And then also sit down and determine when you are having breakfast, when you're having lunch, and when you're having snacks. A lot of our kids are used to having snacks in between breakfast and lunch, or lunch and dinner. They're used to those things. And I would continue them if you're able to continue them. Also, with that, I've seen some parents that they've written down their schedules on paper, they put it on posters, it's posted somewhere, the kid knows where it is. I would definitely consider that, because visuals are always good for kids to connect to. But I would also consider, with everything that you do, making it just one more step organized. If you have a house full of wonderful, healthy, eating kids, going to the kitchen in the refrigerator may be something that they're used to doing on the weekends, but now they're doing it all the time throughout the week. So one thing that I've seen is parents, they've taken a box or a cubby or a shoebox or something, and the kids have determined what their snacks are going to be, and they've put them in the box for the day, as opposed to just go get something whenever you want. Keep in mind, the only reason I say that is because we are decreasing, for some, we're decreasing the amount of time that they're running around and playing. They're sitting more in front of a computer or on the couch or watching TV or whatever it may be. So we want to try to balance that out with not having complete access to everything in the house and you're running out of food every single week. So keep those things in mind. Last thing about the schedule is teaching the kids about that alone time. You parents are working, and kids are used to being in a room with more than just themselves. They're used to being in a room with more than just a few of their friends. Some of them may be used to being in a room with 20 to 30 other people. So being able to be alone and work in your space or work on something for 30 minutes is a key factor in survival with that many people in a room. So telling your kid that, it's okay not to know the answer. Stick with tip number 3 and you'll be able to figure out how to answer this, but it's okay not to know the answer. I do need you to try to figure out something until I can help you, or until you can figure out what the answer is. So, how to survive until you get the help that you want. And do you really need that help, or are you just giving up and saying, I'm done? So keep those things in mind. We understand that a lot of y'all are doing things on your own. You may not have had the meeting with your kids. You may not have had the family meeting. You may not have even set a schedule. It's okay. If you have done a schedule, kudos to you. It's also okay to tweak that schedule. It's also okay if it didn't work the first time to try it again. So when you're setting that schedule with your kids, give them about 2 days to adjust so that they understand how that flow is going to be. Reiterate the family meeting expectations so that they know how you're going to go through that schedule. And just encourage them to let them know it's all about learning. It's all about doing this together. We both have our own things that we need to accomplish, and I'm going to help you, and I hope that you help me as well. So I hope this was very helpful. Stick with tip number 3, or stay tuned so you can watch tip number 3, and you'll get another key fact.